Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you all? If I am audible to you, you can use the chat to interact. Everyone, audible to you. Okay, I can receive few messages. Good evening, Himanshi. Okay, great. So, how are you all doing? How are you all doing? Okay, great. Pranali says yes, ma'am. Soham says fine. Okay. Others, where are all of you? Meghna says, I'm fine, good to hear. Stephen says, hello, hello, Stephen. Okay, so welcome to the today's session of Honeywell. So we are starting with the today's session. So as you already know about the program, so I'm not repeating it. So let's move on to our first thing, that is the session hygiene rule, which is uh mentioned in the every session. Still, some of you don't follow it, so I am highlighting it again. You have to participate actively. That is the main important thing, and you can participate actively through chats, right? Because you cannot speak. You cannot share any personal or sensitive information in the chat. Third thing is you have to join with your real name so that we can interact more effectively, and keep a notebook and pen ready with you so you can note down the important pointers. So these were the major rules, and rest of you already know. So let's move on to what we have today in the whole session, that is agenda for today. So we will be first doing the quick recap of what we have discussed in the previous session. Then we will be seeing what is GenAI, what is prompt engineering, and different techniques and applications using demos, quizzes, and Q&A of prompt engineering and GenAI. This is what we will be following in the today's session, right? So before we move forward, let us take a moment and quickly recap of what we have discussed. But before that, quickly scan this baseline form, scan this QR code which is on your screen, and once done with the filling of the form, mention done in the chat. Then we will move forward with the session. Scan the QR code, fill out the form. Once done, mention done in the chat. It's for everyone. I'm waiting for 30 seconds more. Quickly fill out the form and rectify in the chat that you have done. Okay, I can see one. Moksha has done. Others, be quick. Soham says done. Great. Disha says done. Everyone, be active in the chat. This is not a one-sided session. Himanshi done. Okay, I can see a lot of you have completed the form. So let's move on to the next step for the today's session. Let's recall what we have learned. So we in the previous session, what we discussed was what is NLP? Why do we need NLP? Okay. So any of you can tell me in one line what is NLP? Mention in the chat what is NLP. We discussed for 2 hours what is NLP, why we need it, NLP pipeline, what are the different terms in NLP, And we saw some real world applications of NLP, that was sentiment analysis, or we saw the translator, right? So, my first question from you, what is NLP in single line? What do you understand by NLP? Fast in the chat. Okay, let me see the responses. Soham says natural language progress, not progress, process. Natural language processing, that's correct. But what is it actually? Stephen says processes human language for machines to understand. Great. Others. Himanshi says technology that helps computer to respond human language. Yeah, to respond as well as to process human language, we can say, right? Good. Great, Himanshi. Others. Where are you all? What is NLP? This is just the start of this session. Okay, so the ones who have answered it, you all are correct. NLP basically stands for a natural language processing, which is a field where computer tries to learn how to understand, interpret, and respond to the human language, right? So now again, why do we need NLP? Second question, why do we need NLP? Why do we need NLP? What do you think? Why we need NLP? Stephen says to communicate with machines. Okay. Others? Himanshi says faster communication. Okay. Umang says to bridge the gap between human communication and computer understanding, allowing machine to interpret, analyze, and generate. Great definition, Umang. Soham to create notes. That is the application, right? So that is the application. Why we need it? Not to create notes, right? Sakshi says for better communication between human and machine. Right, Sakshi? Great. So NLP, why we need it? Because we know that our human language is not easy, right? Because human language, humans communicate using language, right? Not numbers, not binary, or no algorithm is there. But we have words, emotions, tones, context. So in order machine understands how we are communicating, or to communicate, for machines to communicate with us, they must first learn how we speak or how we communicate. That is why we introduce natural language processing, right? So let's this is what was NLP and why do we need NLP. Now let me ask from you another question. I want from everyone that when I say NLP, type the first word that comes to your mind in the chat. When I say word NLP, what is the first word that comes to your mind? It could be anything related to NLP or related to AI. Meghna says ChatGPT. Okay, great. Others. Soham says Gemini. Okay. Stephen says translator. Others. Others, what comes to your mind when you hear the word NLP? Okay, so we have Chat GPT, we have Gemini in the chat, we have translators. One says notebook NLM, Varsha says notebook LLM. So most of the answers are related to uh, LLMs, we can say, right? Okay, one answer I got, Sharanu says Gamma AI. Okay, okay. So this is what you mentioned, the tools related to AI, right? So chat GPT, Gemini, this is means your responses are so dynamic. Some of you mentioned AI, some of you mentioned chat GPT, some mentioned Gemini, and some mentioned the tools like Gamma AI. And still I'm getting the responses. Pranali says perplexity. Okay, that is also again one LLM, right? Now, this shows that uh, NLP is not something very journal or casual. It is very important, but because it is not one concept. It is the connection with AI, machine learning, data science, and even our psychology. Because what we think or how we communicate is our psychology, right? Ankita again says ChatGPT. Okay, so NLP is not just a theory; it is practical, and we can say it is personal now also. Now let's play. So these are the terms which are indeed around NLP. Now let's play a game wherein you have to escape the AI or NLP lab, and here I would show you some icons, some questions on the screen, and you have to tell me the answer. So these are all related to the NLP challenges. So let's start with it. Give me a minute. So first thing, there is a series of icons which is shown on the screen. You have to tell me what does the Caesar icon means in terms of NLP. This is a series of icons shown on the screen. You have to tell me what does this Caesar icon means in terms of NLP. Fast, let's see who gives the first answer. Pranali says cut. Okay, we can cut with the Caesar, but what it is in terms of NLP, that is what I am asking. Ankita says clip cutting. Okay, not correct actually. Deep says cut. Okay, let's see others. Himanshi has given the correct answer for this. Great one, Himanshi. Okay, so I got the answers as cut or cutting. We all know that scissor is used for cutting, but you hear the question when I say something. I was asking what the scissor means in terms of NLP, right? So Himanshi says tokenization. That's correct. So hum delete useless data. Delete not delete useless data. It is tokenization when we are breaking text into smaller parts. Okay, so let's move on to the next challenge. Be careful when you are answering. You have to fix this NLP flow. It is an NLP pipeline where in terms of icons, if you cannot write the icon, you just give me in the text. You have to tell me the correct flow. This is the jumbled icons, not the correct flow. How we process text using NLP. We have a NLP pipeline, which we discussed in the last session. So give me the correct order for this. Fast, everyone. So to ease it out or to give a hint, this brain means processing something. This means a person or we are saying something in terms of text or audio. This is we are giving a output. This is again a brush, cleaning brush, and then we have a scissor for cutting out the things. Okay, Himanshi says the human speaking, then Caesar, then paintbrush, then brain, and the speaker at last. Okay, we got one answer. Others, what do you think? What is the correct NLP pipeline? Will give the correct answer in 30 more seconds. Fast. Okay, Ankita has answered speaker, tokenization, brush, mind, speaker. Okay, speaking. Okay, first is speaking, then tokenization, then brush, mind, speaker. Okay, Ankita has also given a series. Okay, let's see it. So we have this. Both of you were correct, Ankita and Himanshi. It was first human input, then we have tokenization, then we have data cleaning, then we have understanding, and then we have the output. Great. So let's move on to the third challenge. We have a statement. You have to tell me what bank means in this given statement. So the statement is Rahul checked his phone nervously while standing outside the bank. Here, bank means river or bank means money. That is a institution or location, we say. ATM bank. Himanshi says money. Others. Ankita says money. Stephen says B. Lakshita says money. We have Harshit as money. Okay. Disha also says money. Pranali says money. B. Sharun says B. Soham says money. Okay. So most of you have answered money. Let's see. That's correct. Outside a bank or a ATM bank. Now let's move on to the fourth challenge. You have to tell me which NLP task is this. Dr. Mehta treated Ria in Delhi on 12th January. This is a statement. So which NLP task is used if I want to identify which is a person, which is a place, and which is a date in this statement? So this was the last topic we discussed in the previous session. What this NLP task is called as, if I want to specify in the statement which is a person, which is a place, which is a date. Pranali says person. Ria, I'm not saying which is a person. I'm not asking. I am asking if I want to use NLP to categorize this. What is that task called as? हम उस task को क्या बोलते हैं? Person, we also know that person is Mehta and Ria, place is Delhi, that we know. But if we apply a NLP onto that, उस task को हम क्या name बोलते हैं? Like we have the sentiment analysis, we have tokenization, ये सारे क्या है? NLP task है, right? तो ऐसे इस task को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Okay, Himanshi says part of speech. Himanshi, you are close to it, not correct. Ankita is correct, right? Ankita has answered it correctly. Others have, some are writing person, place. Stephen says tokenization. No, no, wrong. Only Ankita mentioned it correctly. The answer is named entity recognition, which we discussed when we were discussing POS tagging. In which what we do? Harshit, you are correct, but Ankita answered it at the first, in which we give every entity some label, that which is a place, which is a location, right? So great, Ankita, you have a good memory. Now let's move on to the last question for today. Okay, tell me the emotion in the sentence. I just love waiting in traffic for 2 hours. Is it a positive comment? Is it a negative or is it a neutral comment? What do you think? What do you think? What kind of comment is this? Positive, negative, or neutral? Ankita says positive. Himanshi says positive. Soham says positive. Okay. Okay. Muhammad Yahya Khan says negative. Varsha says positive. Sharunu says positive. Diksha says positive. Okay, most of you have answered positive. Karuna says neutral. Okay. Lakshita says positive. Pranali says positive. Okay. Najma also says positive. Okay, so most of you have answered it as positive. One I got as the neutral, that was from Karuna, and one I got as negative. So let's see. Harshit says negative. Okay, great. So let's see. This is a negative sarcasm comment. This is not neutral. This is not positive. So everyone, whoever has mentioned positive, if you as a humans who can understand the context behind the statements, who can understand the emotions behind the statements, if you are so much confused now, understand how it is very much important to understand why it is and why NLP is so important, right? Because we just saw that how complex is our human language. Whoever said positive, how a person can be happy or how a person can love waiting in the traffic for 2 hours. It's not a journal or a positive comment. It is just a sarcastic comment, right? Which is a negative. Mohammed says, I said negative, ma'am. I am an NLP engineer. Sure, of course. You are or you will be the future NLP engineer for sure. Okay. Great, everyone. Great, Mohammed. Great, Karuna, for the correct answers. Now, let's move on to our today's part. So far, we learned that how machines understand the language. We learned that how machine understand, how machine process the language. But what about how machines generate the language, right? So today we will be discussing today that how machines generate something, not understand, how they create language, how they create data, right? And that is where what comes in, our concept of generative AI and prompt engineering comes in, right? So AI is somewhat, you will understand, is sort of your personal genie to which whatever you want to get as the output, you tell in the normal text format and you get the output. Like you are using chat GPT, Gemini, whenever I ask any question from you, the majority of the answers I get is chat GPT and Gemini, right? So let's move on to the today. So my question from you, how many of you have used these apps? ChatGPT or Gemini? How many of you have used ChatGPT and Gemini? I can expect that most of you might have used ChatGPT and Gemini. Let me see the responses. Ankita says me. Purnima says ChatGPT. Mohammed says okay. Mohammed, use some other app. Right now, Mohammed, I'm talking about ChatGPT and Gemini. Then we will go to the other apps. Lakshita says me. Okay. Purnima says ChatGPT. Then Najma says ChatGPT. Okay. Okay. A lot of you are answering me, or some of you are answering that you have used ChatGPT solely, or some of you have answered Gemini solely. Right? Now tell me, how many of you have used AI for assignments? How many of you have used AI for assignments? You get some assignment from your college, from your university, and you use AI for that. Ankita says me, Lakshita says me, Purnima says me, okay, Mohammed says perplexity and cloud. Great, Mohammed, good choice. Okay, so I can see a lot of people are using this, right? Now, tell me, how many of you have used AI image generators? Most of you might have used. I want from you which AI image generator apps you have used. Give me the app name. Give me the app name. If you have used any image generator, okay, Mohammed says Leonardo AI, great one. Others, which image generator app? Soham says Gemini ChatGPT, okay. Ankita says Gemini Nano Banana Model, okay. Lakshita says ChatGPT. Stephen says Nano Banana, that is Gemini. Okay, most of you have used Gemini as of now. Okay, great. Now, you can see that most of you are till now aware of, majority of you are aware of ChatGPT, Nano Banana, Gemini, and most Perplexity and Cloud. And one answer I got as Leonardo AI, right? Now let's in the today's session we will see that uh, the major applications or the AI tools which are apart from these, not only these. And if you are using these apps also or these tools also, how you can integrate it with the other applications. So let's move on to our next question. I want you to think seriously. Can AI think or just predict? Tell me, can AI think or just predict? What do you think? Can AI think or it can predict or do both? What do you think? Soham says think, Lakshita says both, Mohammed says yes, Ankita says both, Sakshi says it just predict, Mohammed says by Gen AI. Okay. Nujma says think, Stephen says both based on previous data, Purnima says just predict, Pranali says predict. Okay. So I'm getting some answers as predict, some as both. And one or two answered me think. Now let's break this. Like when you think something, what happens? How we think? We have our experiences, we have emotions, we have memories, and we understand the consequences, right? So AI does not have any emotions. AI does not have personal experiences. So what does it do basically? It simply predicts. It does not think, it predicts. Now, in simple terms, if I say AI looks at the patterns in the data, right? One of the answer was this only, that it looks at the previous data, right? Now, when you type a sentence, it predicts the most likely next word, right? Just like we discussed in the last session, your mobile keyboard suggestions, right? If I will write, I am going to. So phone will start suggesting me school, office, market, right? So it predicts based on the data. And similarly, generative AI also predicts, but in a advanced way. So when we do the prediction in advanced way, we it looks like that AI is thinking. But basically, AI is predicting at a massive scale, which is looking like thinking, but it is not actually thinking, right? So, be clear on this that AI predicts, AI does not think, but when we are predicting at a very large scale, it looks like that it is thinking. So, let's move on to the next. So let's see the difference between AI, ML and Gen AI. I will quickly wind it up with this, that AI, as we discussed, is a big umbrella. In that we have machine learning that learns from the data. In that we have deep learning, that is a sub part of machine learning, or we can say advanced part of deep learning. In that we have NLP, and in that we have generative AI. Now what is generative AI? Basically, in which AI is generating, or AI is used to create content. That content could be anything. That could be text, images, music, video, audio, or anything else, right? So AI is a big branch and all these domains are inside it, right? So let's move on to what is generative AI specifically. So any AI or any artificial intelligence that is helping us to create new content, as I discussed, text, images, videos, code, music, that is our generative AI, right? So let's see the first demo for today. Scan this QR code. Scan this QR code. Let me share the link also. Okay, so what this is basically, so here we have Crayon AI. Now this is what happens is that in Gemini, in ChatGPT, we create multiple images. But have you seen that your tokens or your free subscription gets exhausted and then you cannot generate an image? That happens, right? But here in Crayon AI, there is no limitation. You can create a lot of images, and the image structure is will show you that is very good image generated, which is comparable to Gemini Nano Banana or very recent LLMs. So if I write simple, a robot studying in a college classroom, taking notes in a notebook. Now I can give other things also, like keep the style realistic, use basic colors, do use light colors. This all I can do. Now simply I will, if I enter it, the notebook spelling is wrong, but still it's fine. Now see, as soon as I press enter, first your this is the image which is generated right now. But as soon as you write any prompt and you press enter, the related images to your prompt gets highlighted in the library below. So see, robot is sitting in the classroom. So we have different, you can say, images options, which is related to our prompt and our main image, which is created just now. Right now, if I want to change anything, I can give change the instruction, and I can uh change the image, like whatever. If I want to change anything else, I can do that also. If I want, for example, let's say a colorful poster explaining climate change for school students, infographic style. Now let's see what happens. Now see, my recommendations have changed, and also it is generating an image for me. Now if I don't like this image generated, I can go for the recommendations. I can choose any recommendation from here also. So this is the image which is highlighted or created, and if I want, I can choose any image from here also. Like if I like this, I can select this image and I can use it. Right now, and it is free. There is no tokens here. You can generate unlimited images as of now, and you can log in also to it. Now, this is not only an image generator app. It is also you can say business. A person who is running a business, what they do is they get it on a t-shirt, and you can order a t-shirt. Means if I like something, I want to order a t-shirt for me and I want my image to be created, what I am trying to create, you can create an image from here and you can get it printed and you can order the t-shirt also. You can order it. That is a second perspective, just to show that what other things are there in this. But for now, for to generate any images for your PPTs, for your presentations, or for your personal work also, right? You can use this. You can download this images and use it for your work. So did you try this Crayon AI? Did you try it? So see how good it is, better than you can say Gemini or ChatGPT. But because in ChatGPT your tokens get exhausted very fast if you don't have a paid version. Muhammad, yes, it's free. It is a free AI generator app, image generator app. Diksha, the link I have already shared in the chat. Hope you have got that. Okay, I can see a lot of yes here. Soham says yes. Okay. Okay, so if you have tried, let's get back to now. You can change the instructions. You can explore this app and try with creating different, you can say images. For the ones who didn't receive the link, I'm sharing the link. Okay. Mohammed, you can use this link if still you have any issue. Now let's move on to our next part. So this was one of the application, many more coming on the way. Let's move forward. So why is generative AI important? Why should we care? Or is it just a means cool toy that we are using that wow, great images generated? So it is not only a cool toy, no, it is changing how we are working. How it is changing? Like if you tell me that you for your assignments you use chat gpt, so how the chat gpt is solving your problems? First thing, it is saving your time, right? The things you go and search on Google, or when you are typing in something in the word and you want the summary of some docs, or you want, for example, I get the assignment of creating uh, a report on something that is very eased out as of now using ChatGPT, Gemini, and other AI tools. But earlier we used to sit and do it manually, right? Similarly, as productivity has increased, when our productivity has increased, our efficiency is also increased at the same time. How? Like earlier, if I have to write around 1,000 words, it would take around 2 hours. Now it can be drafted in 30 seconds, not even hours, even in 30 seconds, right? But remember, we draft it, right? Similarly, your creativity. Now, earlier we used to have one mind with us that we are creating on our own. We used to think clearly, we used to think on our own, we were not having any innovative idea support. But now chat gpt or gemini or other ai tools can serve us as the support, right? Third, fourth thing is your learning assistance. As I said, if you are using it in the correct way, your ai tools is the best learning assistant, or you can say best uh, knowledgeable thing which you can get as a assistant or as a helper in terms of your student or your college life. But if you are using it in a wrong manner, it won't assist you. It would make your brain weak. In fact, like you won't be able to think much. You will fully rely on chat gpt. You won't think on your own. You won't have your own ideas. So always whenever you are using any ai tool, make sure you are integrating it with your own thinking. You are not completely relying on it, right? So that is how your generative ai is important. Now, life before and after Gen AI, how that has changed. Earlier, if we have to create any content, what we used to do? We used to first sit and guess for the designs, guess for the content, and it would take, for example, if I have to build a website, now also, if the people who don't know the website building apps, what they do, they sit, they first make the back end, they first make the front end, then they create a full application, and it creates around, depending upon the application, it takes around 3 weeks, 1 week, or 1 month even for some, if the application is complex. Or for a simple website also, people who don't know to create it effectively using ai, they take 1 week approximately, or 3 to 4 days at minimum, right? But after AI has come into picture, like today at the end of the session, you will be building a website without coding. And in only in 5 minutes, we can say, not even in hours, right? So that is how our Gen AI has changed the whole concept of working in the society. Similarly, other earlier the skills required were needed was technical and the professional expertise. Now, anyone, if I know how to write a prompt, I know how to use a AI tool, I can build a web application, I can uh, host my web application, I can learn a new skill which is required at the time, I can automate my things if I know how to use AI and I know how to write proper prompts, right? Earlier, what used to happen, there was slow development as we discussed in web applications. So you can see how your life has been changed from before to after Gen AI, right? That is why Gen AI is so much into, you can say, demand right now in the market, because it is changing how the people are working around. So let's see another thing. If I tell you to send a professional email, or you need to send a professional email, what you do? In 5 minutes, you have to send a professional email. What you do? How you work? This is just to know how you work as of now. What do you do? Do you write it manually, or you panic, or you use AI as the help? Okay, so hum will use AI for that. Others, Stephen's AI help. Kalyani says, take help of ChatGPT. Ruturaj says, write a rough email on ChatGPT and let it polish it. Okay, great. That is the right way. AI. Ankita says AI. Pranali says use AI. Okay. Okay, a lot of you are answering use AI. Now, before moving to the scenario two, the correct way is, as we discussed, do not rely solely on AI. As Ruturaj said, you can draft a rough email through AI, edit it, and then give a personal touch to it as per your convenience or as per what output you need. That is how we use AI. We cannot rely completely on the AI to generate and give me a final output, right? Now, the second scenario. What is the second scenario? If I tell you that you need a poster or presentation image today, what do you do? Use template, you generate, or you design from scratch? How you work as of now? Okay, let me see the chat. Soham says use template. Okay. Others. Others. What you will do in this case? Ruturaj says GenAI but with extensive prompt. Right. Ankita says use template. Okay. Kshita says AI. Okay. Tanu says use template. Okay. So we have some will use template, some would generated using AI with effective prompt. Okay. So we have seen how we are working as of now, and uh, you have to analyze that at the till the end of the session, if you are thinking towards how you are working is changed or is enhanced, right? The way you work. So next question is from you: can AI help? The question means this is not a question. We already know AI can help. So are you using it effectively? That is the question from my end. That are you using AI effectively means you are using ChatGPT. I got you will use template, you will use GenAI, or uh, when I asked how you will create an email, everyone said AI, 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 right? But one or two answered that you will create a draft and then you will edit it. So the major question here is, are you verifying your output? Are you, or you are blindly copying it? Right. So these things in one sentence, how will you use AI smartly is the three depends upon the three things. Like, is AI your shortcut, or is AI not your shortcut, or it is your amplifier? It amplifies your thinking, not it shortens your thinking, right? But it is only possible if you think that how you are using AI, that you have to think, because I cannot go into the depth that how you use it. You know it perfectly. So while we are moving forward, think that if you are using that tool for your effectiveness or for your weakness. Now, how GenAI is transforming this, we have already discussed, for speed, creativity, decision making, automation. So, not keeping much time here. Let's move on to this. So, on the screen, the tools you can see, how many names you can recognize out of these? Tell me in the chat. How many names in these tools, with a few, they are very less tools which are mentioned on the screen. How many of you can tell me two tools which you know? Name any two tools which you know apart from ChatGPT. Apart from ChatGPT. ChatGPT everyone knows. Tanu says ChatGPT, Gemini. Okay. Apart from ChatGPT and Gemini, again I am repeating. Okay. Ruturaj says Notion and Midjourney. Okay. Soham says Gemini and Black Box AI. Okay. Stephen says 9 tools. Give me two tools, Stephen, which you know. Any two tools apart from ChatGPT and Gemini. Everyone knows about ChatGPT, everyone knows about Gemini. Let me see the answers. Tanu says Perplexity, Grok. Kalyani says Copilot. Ankita says Grammarly and Leonardo. Okay. Sakshi again, Perplexity, Gemini. Apart from Gemini, everyone, no Gemini, please. No ChatGPT, no Gemini. Lakshita says, can you me the best AI tool to make a screw in PDF format and just take it? Lakshita, keep your such queries noted down on the paper and ask at the end when we have a Q&A round. Okay. So for now, if you have any query related to what we are discussing, you can ask that. Such queries, I will answer every query at the last for sure. Stephen says Gamma. Okay. So I can see a lot of you have answered Gamma, Gemini, ChatGPT. Some of you mentioned Leonardo and Claude and Grammarly, right? So have you heard about Synthesia? Have you heard about Synthesia? Yes or no? Ankita says no. Soham says no. Sakshi says no. Tanu says. Okay, so most of you are saying no. So let me see some more replies, then I will know. AI music generator. Ruturaj, yes, sort of music generator, but audio and video generator, we can say. Disha says Delhi and Copilot. No. Okay. So see, Synthesia, I'm not telling about each and every application because there are a lot, and these are, you can say, 2% of the Gen AI tools which we have till now with us, only 2%. Now you can see how many tools are already there in the market, and you know you are still stuck on 2 to 3 tools, that is ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and one or two more. So you have confined your area only to these 2 3 tools. Don't confine your area. Start exploring more about the other tools. As I said, Synthesia is one of the AI tool which helps you in audio voiceovers, video voiceovers, in creating, if you go on the, you can say, Simply Learn application or any application in which you see the videos in which there is voiceovers added. There is the boat or there is a person standing and the audio is running from the end behind. That is audio voiceover. right? Or you give the text, you want the text to be converted into the audio voiceover, or you want to create some ad for your startup, or sorry, for your application. You can create that ad, marketing ad from Synthesia, right? Similarly, we have Firefly for the same. Write Sonic is one of the app which helps you in the writing part. It is also a very good app. Now, some of you mentioned Notion AI. Notion AI is for creating your workflows. Notion AI, if you want to create a workflow for your current project and you want to share it with your people around or with your team, Notion AI is a very good application, right? So I have highlighted few of them, but not all. So start exploring the AI tools. For now, we are moving forward. Let's go on the Gamma AI. First, you tell me that have you used Gamma AI? Anyone who have not used Gamma? Okay. Uh, I can say most of you have used, but anyone who have not used Gamma, tell me. Tell me in the chat. Let me see the chat. Soham says no. Okay. Others, anyone else who have not used Gamma? Purnima says no. Raksha says no. Lakshita says no. Tanu says no. Okay, the ones who are saying no means you have not used it, right? So let's see what Gamma is all about. Scan this QR code. Scan this QR code. Once done, mention done in the chat. Then I will also move to showing you. Let me open Gamma here. So this is your Gamma AI. If you want, you can log in. You can continue with Google. Raksha, the ones who are asking for link, just go on your Chrome or on your browser. Just write Gamma AI. There is nothing as of link, and I'm sharing the link also. Give me a minute. Okay, I have shared the link also in the chat. You can select anything. It is just a normal question answer. If you want, you can skip also. And this is the main page of Gamma AI, right? Now, what this Gamma AI is basically, in one of the previous session, it was taught to you how you can generate the PPT through Gemini, right? Or your AI studio. Now, what Gamma AI is, how you can integrate your chat GPT content with this Gamma AI. Similarly, we have different AI presentation tools. Now, as you are in universities and colleges, there is a common task which you get on alternate basis, on or weekly basis, that you have to present something or you have to create presentations, right? So in that case, how Gamma AI helps, we are having 3 4 features in this. We can create from template. If I have a doc file, I can import that doc file and I can create the PPT from that. Other is, if I have a notes or I have some outline, I can paste that content here. Or if I want to generate it using AI, that I give a prompt and it helps me in the generation part, I can use the first option, that is generate. Now we'll tell you the two, generate and paste in text. Let's see. If I generate, see in the free option we have 10 cards only. So if you want to create, for example, PPT, now the question arises. The PPT is not only of 10 slides, right? It is of 20, 30, minimum 20 slides, right? So what we do is we can create in sections. Your first 10 slides, then you can create the 10 slides, then you can combine it, right? Now, for example, now we have this classic studio. As this is the free version, so we have only these options. Now you can create the presentation, you can create the document also, you can create the web page also, and this social. This is mobile data also. Now that like Instagram content, something like this. Now let's focus on presentation because that is a major part we or you have to do as a student, right? So for example, I want uh create a presentation to explain AI tools to non-tech students. And I've selected 10 classic tradition. Now generate outline. Now it will automatically generate the outline for me, that this would be the first slide, this would be the second slide. Now if I want, I can change also in this using the three dots, or I can drag and drop, right? And now if you go below, you have three options. You have minimal, that minimal means you will have minimum text. Or you have concise, if you want detailed text, you can click on detail, or extensive means many paragraphs. Then you have the theme option, then you have the images option कि images आपको web से उठानी है या आपको AI से generate करानी है. Then we have different options of images also. Then if you want some extra keywords to be kept in mind while generating, you can use this also. So per Gmail account, you get 400 credits, right? And once your credits are exhausted, you cannot reuse it. But if you like the application, what you can do is you can purchase it. Or if you don't want to purchase it, you can create some other Google account and use it from that, right? So from this account, I have not created any. So that is why it is showing me the full credits. Now, if you click on generate, it will generate, but I will generate with the paste in text as of now because I don't want to lose the credits. So now, what paste in text here mentions is, let's go on the chat GPT. Now, I will tell you that how you can integrate your chat GPT or Gemini with your Gamma and other applications. For example, uh, when you create, right now, when you create your PPTs, how you create your PPTs as of now, mention in the chat. Tell me in the chat how you create your PPTs till now. Ruturaj says Canva, yes. I will also tell how you can integrate the Gamma PPT or PDF into Canva also. This also we will discuss. Because in Canva AI, also in the free version, we have very limited options. Okay, Daniel says Gamma. Okay. Let's see. Pranali says Canva. PowerPoint. Preeti says. Okay, this is a previous response. Ankita says Canva, PowerPoint, Gamma. Okay. So most of you are telling me Canva and PowerPoint, right? Still in Canva free version, we have very limited option. Now how we can use ChatGPT and Gamma effectively is, I can give a ChatGPT a very good instruction. Uh, let's take the prompt from ChatGPT only. Give me a prompt to create presentation on AI tools for non-tech students. Let's not have a prompt. Give me slide-wise content, we can say. Let's take uh 10 slides as of now. So see, I'm getting slide by slide, you can say content. Now what I will do basically, I will just, once it is generated, I will show you what we will do. So in AI tools for presentation, AI tools for images, responsible use and conclusion. So what I will do, I will copy paste this content and directly paste it in this. Now you can see this three lines is dividing my slides. If you won't have these three lines, your you can say slides are not divided. Okay, everyone, is my screen visible? Raksha is not able to see my screen. Others, are you able to see my screen? Let me reassure if there is a problem for her. Okay, Raksha, hope it is visible. Okay, some of you mentioned yes, some of you mentioned no. Okay. Okay, now it is visible to everyone. Okay. So as I said that, let me repeat it. Okay. So we had the slide-wise content from ChatGPT. I copy pasted it here, and you can see that it is already, by these three lines, it is already converted into slide-wise 10 slides. Now I have three options. I can generate from the notes. I can summarize. Let's see. Generate from notes or this outline which I have continue to the prompt generator. Okay. Now you can see here we have two things, free form and the card by card. Card by card here means that your it is divided into slide. And if I click on free form, it is in the simple text format. Now I will keep the text as minimal, generate. I don't want to context. It has already taken which kind of student it is, how to keep the tone. We have visual themes. And if I want, I can add something and I will click on generate. Now see, it has started creating my PPT. Now, till it is generating, you can also see that if I click on any slide, you can edit it here itself. If you want, you can tell the agent here what you want to do the editing part, right? And in the share, you have the option how you can want to share or export PDF, PPT, what kind. So it, see, it is automatically taking the images, it is automatically, and if you click on any slide, you have the option for editing a particular slide also. Here, if I go here, it is still generating, let it generate. Oh, give me a minute. Okay. So this is, if I go on any slide, here I have the option of add card with AI. Means if I add card with AI, I can generate it here also. If I have skipped something or I want that there is something to be added in between the first and the second slide. Similarly, if you go here, you have the editing options of images, blocks, layouts. You can, if you want, you can change the theme also of it. So these all are the options which you can do, and then you can export it in the form you want. Export to PDF, to PowerPoint, whatever you want, or to Google Slides. That is up to you. Or if you want, you can present it here also. So this is how you can integrate your chat GPT and your Gamma both. So I have this. Now, if you want, like you have created with the Gamma and you have less credits, you don't want to consume the credits while you are editing. What you can do? You can upload this PDF into the Canva and do the editing in that. So your basic structure, you are not wasting time in creating a basic structure on the template, on editing part, or on the major, you can say basic text. Your basic structure is ready. Now you just have to enhance it, right? So that is how the people in corporate also works, or the people in AI domain also works. They do not rely on single handedly on single applications. Now we integrated chat GPT with Gamma, and to enhance it we can integrate this Gamma with Canva AI, right? This is how we work. So now from the next time, now in PowerPoint also we have the integrated AI system. So that is also good part. If you use PowerPoint, you can use the integrated AI system with the PowerPoint also in the advanced version, recent version, I would say. So everybody done with the Gamma part. Let's move forward. If you are done, mention done in the chat. Ankita says yes. Ritaraj says done. Soham says done. Okay. So tell me, is AI is just better or just faster? Is AI is better or just faster? What do you think? Is AI better or just faster? Let's see your views. Just faster. Ankita says, I have created one. Great. Faster. Ruturaj says, faster. Definitely better too. Both. Preeti says, faster. So AI, as I can say, some of you are saying faster, and one or two mentioned faster and better both. That's correct. AI is not just faster, it is better also, because it is increasing our creativity skills, right? So AI is better plus faster. Now, another question, is AI replacing humans or AI helping humans? What do you think? Is AI replacing humans or AI helping humans? Akshita says helping, Ankita says helping humans, Soham says helping humans. Okay, Diksha says both. Sakshi says AI helping humans. Okay. Preeti says both of them. Shanu says helping. Pranali also too. Tanu says helping. Okay. So I would say like AI is helping humans, that we already know or we have seen also. Ruturaj says, I sincerely think people should use their brains first and then AI should not replace your thing. Exactly, Ruturaj. That is what I'm trying to say. That or you will learn in the this session itself that how to use AI effectively. It is not that if I want to draft the email, I should just, or if you want to do some assignment, you have your question paper, you upload it on the chat GPT, you get answers, and you get uh, you copy paste those answers into the Word and submit it without even seeing what you are getting. That is where you are degrading yourself and you are upgrading AI. That is your fault. That is not the fault of advancement. Because AI, if is in the picture or in the boom in the market, it is for helping the humans. It is for helping the people around. And the ones who said AI is replacing humans, I agree with them too. Because at the same time, AI is not replacing humans. The correct line should be the people who know AI or to use how to use AI effectively will eventually replace the people who don't know AI. So AI is not replacing humans, but जिनको AI आता है या जिनको पता है AI कैसे effectively use करना है, they will replace the people who don't know how to use it effectively. So in that sense, AI is replacing humans, and for sure, AI is helping us in different aspects for creativity, efficiency, automation, time saving, etc. Right? So, how AI is around us? In Netflix recommendations, we have right now in Instagram filters. We are saying not only on Instagram filters, if you go on the YouTube shorts, you go on the Instagram reels, or your social media applications, the people are using AI video generation for creating stories. I just yesterday I saw some of the stories similar to it. That is why I am remembering that what content creators are doing, they are creating videos, they are creating the stories from the chat gpt, then they are creating the voiceover from a ai tool, and they are creating a video out of it using the ai itself. They're not doing anything, they're just giving the instructions. So that is how ai is transforming. Then your Google Map suggestion, when which route to choose, which route not to choose, that is also AI. Your spam detection, your voice assistance, means we are already living in an AI world, or everything is related to AI around us. Right? If we open any application, if we order something, if we get any suggestion, if we are watching something, there is AI somewhere around everything. Okay, so if I ask you, give me five benefits of exercise. If I ask you, give me five benefits of exercise, not five, give me two benefits of exercise. Let's shrink down. Give me two benefits of exercise in the chat. In short, what are the two benefits of exercise? Okay, Ruturaj says mental balance, hormonal balance, right? Others, any two benefits? Better blood circulation, Tanu says. Okay. Others? Stephen says good health. Okay. Preeti says strong. Not strong, you can use the word strength in that case. Varsha says physical fitness improves stamina. Stephen says mental clarity. Okay. So let me show you one thing very clearly, that this is what I got when I asked you all, right? But what if I ask here? Let's give me five benefits of exercise. Can you see my chat GPT screen? Yes or no in the chat? Can you see my chat GPT screen? Okay. So see, when I asked AI tool, that is ChatGPT, you can go for Gemini. When you will write on Gemini, you will get more elaborated answer. So see, I got five pointers, right? Now I got a reverse question also, that if I want, I can, the ChatGPT can give me five simple exercise. I can start doing it. And what response I got from you? Blood circulation, mental health stability, hormonal balance, strength. This is all what I received from you all, right? So see the difference between the content creation, and if I have to write the same benefits in the same manner, it would take me minimum 15 to 20 minutes to formulate and to draft it like this, right? Now, if I change for a 50-year-old man, now what I have done, I have changed the audience. Now it has, now earlier the pointers was different: maintaining health, weight, uh mental health, or you can say heart health. Now here heart health is there, muscle strength, bone strength, and flexibility and balance related to my prompt instruction, that is 50-year-old man. So we will get back to this. Let's, so here my point is, you can see that the same thing which we are doing as humans, how quick we are getting in a much better way and in a much creative way, much informative way from the AI tool. Now, this was ChatGPT. If you will write the same prompt on Gemini, you will get more elaborated part, right? Now, how does GenAI actually working? Basically, as we know that this chat GPT, Gemini, all these are trained on LLMs. LLMs means large language models. At the end, back end, we have different models, like we have machine learning, deep learning, जैसे वो model होते थे. LLM क्या होता है? जो मॉडल बहुत लार्ज डेटा पे ट्रेन है, लार्ज डेटा इन द सेंस बिलियंस और ट्रिलियंस डेटा पे ट्रेन है, राइट? अब व्हेन वी ट्रेन सम मॉडल ऑन इट, वो क्या करता है, वो लर्न करता है पैटर्न से जो डेटा में है, और उसके बेसिस पे इट गिव्स अस द प्रिडिक्शन, बेस्ट पॉसिबल प्रिडिक्शन, right? That is how your GenAI is actually working. Now similarly, as we discussed, if I write, if you study hard you will, what you will say? Some of you will say pass, some of you will say you will get extra marks, you will get good marks, you will score good. These all are the words which you can complete in the sentence, right? So what, how everyone or we will be predicting by the common patterns which we have learned through our brain. So here in Gen AI, LLM or large language model is the brain. हमने उसमें जैसा डेटा फीड किया हुआ है उसके पैटर्न्स के अकॉर्डिंग वो हमें क्या दे रहा है, प्रिडिक्शन दे रहा है कि हमारा नेक्स्ट वर्ड क्या हो सकता है, based on different examples we have already given, right? Now the common myths we have about AI is that AI understands like humans. We, that is a myth. Reality is AI does not understand, AI does not think, it predicts only, right? Second myth is AI is always correct. No, AI can make mistakes. In Chat GPT, at the end itself, it is written that we can make mistakes, right? Because it is only working on the data it is trained on. It is doing the prediction, and the prediction and the machine cannot be 100% accurate ever. If you create any machine, you create any model, you create any robot, or you create anything, that could not be 100% accurate. If it is there, there is, it could be 99.9% accurate. There is always a 0.01% bifurcation or the error that could be there if we talk about real life scenarios, right? So your machine cannot be 100% accurate ever. Third myth, AI will replace everyone. As I said, that AI replaces the task which we are doing, not the humans, but people who use AI will replace who don't use AI. So these were the some myths which were related to AI. Now let's create one chatbot with no code. Scan this QR code. I will give you a short brief about it, not going much into it. So this chatbot I mentioned in the last class that we would be doing in the today's class. So you can, let me share the link also. Let's see if it is working. Okay, if I open this, there is an option of login. You, if you want, you can log in also to it. Once you log in, uh, let me reshare my screen again. Okay, so I've shared the link and in the chat. So once you log in, there is an option of create. So in this jot form, you can create different forms also like Google Forms. So in this, you have different forms, not only like Google Forms, you can have logic forms, you can have payment forms, you can have automation forms. You can create agents, you can create e-signs, and you can make applications also with no coding. So it is in a beta version. You can try this. So first we will be going with the AI agent. Here we give a prompt जैसे हम chat GPT में देते हैं same ways. So right now I'm taking some inbuilt prompts. Here I am having different tasks, right? So if I click on feedback, so create a client feedback agent, or let's go for customer support. Create a customer support agent, right? So if I click on send, so now it is creating a perfect agent for me. So now you can see we have three options here: build, train, and publish. So in build, we build the below you can see we have greeting page, we have conversation page. We have two pages. So greeting page is when someone opens the application, the main page they see, and conversation page is when we are interacting with the agent, right? Now it is a chatbot here. Standalone is your standalone application. Now in this jot form we have different integrations also. Means if I want to integrate my chatbot with Gmail, to WhatsApp, to Instagram, or to some presentation, that also we can do. But as it is the free version, I will tell only the standalone. Rest you will explore on your own. If you want, give me a minute. Okay. So when I click on the settings, there is different options. Menu, you can enable chat, disable chat, you can enable voice, disable voice. In the welcome, I have a welcome page, and if I want, I can change this header. I can use some greeting like hello. For example, if I say your greeting is mentioned here, if you want, you can choose your own logo if you have something, and you can change the colors also, right? Similarly, you can do a go on the greeting page and do the same, that if you want to add some button or want to add something, that you can do. Then the third option is train means if I am training or creating a chatbot on some my personal thing, so it won't have the knowledge of my personal thing, right? So in that, what I can do, I can upload a file to train my agent. I can upload a knowledge base to it. I can give a link, website link or something, or I can give the question answers also. There are more sources also which you can see, right? So if I see text based information, if you want to give, let's check for the file. Okay. If I have some file downloads, let's have NLP file. I will click use this file to answer my questions. I can give the instructions like this. Save. It will process the whole PDF which you have given, and then it would save it in the knowledge database. Okay, so it is saved as it is written. Agent is extracting the information. The file has been saved, right? So if you want to delete, you can delete and you can add more also. Now, nowhere it was written that it is a Honeywell Future Skills Edge program, something like this. So it automatically fetched it from the PDF. Now, the first, apart from knowledge base, we have AI persona. I can set the name if I want. I can write Max or something. I can change the role. I can change the language, tone. If there is some guidelines which I have to give, I can add the guidelines. Use only knowledge base to answer or something like this, whatever you want to answer. If chat response should be short or long, voice, what kind of voice should be there, something like this. Now we have actions. This is for the advanced version. Right now, we are just learning how to create a basic chatbot. Now in advanced version, if I have some channels, means if I am integrating with Gmail, so I can give the instructions here that if in my Gmail I click on this, you should do this action. If I click on inbox, you should do this action. So the rules, I can set the rules here in the actions. And the tools, we have different extensions, integrate to a form, train your agent. You can leave it for now. Then the last we have is the publish. Now to publish, you have to sign up. I have not signed up. You can log in. Sign up means through Google only. That is simple. Once you sign up, you get a link. Let me sign up itself. Everyone created. Once you have created, tell me in the chat. So see, now I have signed up. Now it is published. Now, if I want, I can open it in the new tab. I click on chat. This is my chatbot. I can say hello. Hello, how can I assist you? What is NLP? Searching the knowledge base. So this is the definition which is written in my PDF. Okay. Now one thing more addition to it. What we have here, if I write what is cyber security. So it is still giving me the answer, but cybersecurity definition was not written in my PDF. So what happens here in the jot form, this agent builder, we have the journal database, which is through our journal data on which this jot form is trained on. So if you ask any question which is apart from the knowledge base, it will answer from the database it already has. And if you ask something from your knowledge base, it will give the answer from your knowledge base. It is similar to ChatGPT. If I give my PDF, it will answer from my PDF. Otherwise, it will go on the web search, right? Now, if you want to change this, you can change this also in the training part. While you were giving the AI persona, you can set the guidelines here to the strict that be specific while you are answering, use only the knowledge base while you are answering. If the question is not in the knowledge base, do not answer. Save it and then try. You won't get the answer. Refresh and then try. You won't get the answer in that case. So that is what you can do if you want only for the knowledge base. So you can see this is a, you can copy this link and you can share it with your people, or you can share it with others for noticing your or to interact with the chatbot. So this was a basic chatbot without using any code. Hope you are done with it, so we can move forward. Hope you are done with it. Everyone, if you are done with it, mention done in the chat. Yes, ma'am, done. Yes, ma'am, done. Done. Okay, great. So let's move on to the another part. What is AI hallucination? What we just saw, that we didn't give any cybersecurity information, but it hallucinated. It does not hallucinated. That was not hallucination. Basically, that was from the journal database. But what hallucination is? Sometimes you might have noticed in the very basic models of chat GPT, if you ask something which has not happened also in the world around us, still chat GPT gives a very irrelevant answers, which sounds real, but that is not correct. जो आपको लगेगा तो रियल आंसर है कि ठीक आंसर है, बट वो करेक्ट नहीं है. So that is hallucination. That is why we say that, well, while we are dealing with AI, we need a human in the loop, right? Because AI hallucinate करता है. Then our most important concept for today is what is a prompt. This was, we discussed what GenAI was. Now let's see what is a prompt. Now, as we were interacting with any app, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Gamma, Canva, or you can say Jotform also, Jotform AI, right? Every app, we are giving some instruction, right? Or we are giving some input or question to the AI tool. That instruction is called as a prompt. Now to handle this prompt, I'm not going on to this. Now to design this prompt or to design the instructions, that technique is called as prompt engineering. So why prompt engineering is very important? Reason being that how we interact with the computer, uh, that that is main कॉन्सेप्ट ऑन व्हाट आउटपुट वी आर गेटिंग. आपको पीपीटी कितनी अच्छी मिलेगी वो किस पे डिपेंड करेगा, आप कितना अच्छा प्रॉम्प्ट दे रहे हो, राइट. जो मैंने गामा में इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया, मैं गामा में क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन वी विल गिव that our PPT is up to the mark. That depends upon the instruction I am giving, right? So that is why the instructions are very important, and that is why your prompt engineering is very important. Now we will see some of the things on this. Now we have two types of prompts. Like, let me go on the chat GPT directly. Let's not waste time here. Now here wrote, give me 5 benefits of exercise, right? This was the one way. Now if I ask you, uh, here it is written, write about marketing, right? Now this is a bad prompt, but here if it is written, write a 150 word explanation of digital marketing for a college student in simple language with 3 examples. This is a great prompt. Okay, I agree. Now let's see this. We have a prompt, write about leadership. How can you enhance this prompt? You have to tell me in the chat. Write about leadership. This is not a good prompt. You have to tell me how you will enhance this prompt. Tell me in the chat. What would be the enhanced prompt for this? Let's see your responses. So हम length, I'm not asking about the element. Give me the prompt. आप क्या चार जीपीटी में prompt लिखोगे? One prompt is write about leadership. Do you think it is the appropriate prompt? If no, if yes, mention yes in the chat. If no, give me a better prompt than this. इससे अच्छा prompt क्या हो सकता है according to you? Be quick in the chat. Rutura says write a 500 words essay on leadership, specifically in politics. Be concise. Ankita says provide me the formal definition of leadership in 200 words. Okay. Stephen says write and 150 words about leadership, specify the importance, etc. Okay. Okay, I got these 3 replies. Now, one thing. I want to get about leadership. So, we will discuss about this example only. But before that, let me tell you that whenever we are discussing about journal prompt and effective prompt, we keep 4 things in mind. That is called as the golden prompt formula. One thing, role. Second thing, task. Third thing is the context. And fourth thing is the format. So let's see what this role task is. So for example, I tell ChatGPT role. Role means what ChatGPT should behave as. Act as a trainer or act as a tutor, for example. Right? And tell me. Now, second point was this was the role I have given to the chat GPT. That what chat GPT should behave as. Now, roles could be act as a manager, act as a trainer, act as a tutor, act as a student, act as a therapist, act as a doctor, or act as a psychologist. Whatever you are doing the task of, right? Now you give the instruction. Instruction means question. What you want to do, ChatGPT? What you want from ChatGPT? And tell me about leadership. This is the task I want, right? Now, third thing is context. In which context I want? And fourth is format. Format means आपको वो output किसको देना है? Context means, for example, tell me about leadership for explaining it to MBA students in simple words. In simple words. Now, in simple words, also, I can say in, apart from simple words, I can say in 100 words, or I can say in 10 pointers in simple language. दिस इज वन वे. अब हमने यहाँ पे क्या क्या स्पेसिफाई कर दिया. चैट जीपीटी को रोल दे दिया, हमने उसको टास्क बता दिया. वी हैव मेंशन कि हमें ये चाहिए आउटपुट किसके लिए, किसको बताना है हमने ये, और हमें आउटपुट चाहिए कैसा, पॉइंटर्स में चाहिए, हमें पैराग्राफ चाहिए, हमें लैंग्वेज कैसे चाहिए, सिंपल चाहिए, कॉम्प्लेक्स चाहिए, क्या चाहिए. राइट. सो इफ नाउ इफ आई आंसर प्रेस एंटर, so let's see what output I'm getting. So I will get 10 pointers. Leadership means influencing others. A leader gives direction. Leader is not just a position. Good leaders communicate. I am getting 10 pointers. And at end, a simple definition. Right? So, whenever you are giving instructions, not only with ChatGPT, with Gamma or any AI app, Canva AI also, or any app, whenever you are giving instructions, keep these 4 pointers in mind. For example, I am drafting a mail. ChatGPT does not know that what were the earlier mails. I have to give the context that these were the background details of the mail. Now draft a reply mail for a manager with in 3 lines or in 3 pointers, right? So you have to tell the role, आपको task बताना है, और third thing आपको context बताना है कि background क्या चल रहा है, या fourth is format, कि आपको output किस output style में चाहिए, paragraph चाहिए, pointer चाहिए, क्या चाहिए. Right. So this is the difference between a good prompt and effective prompt and a journal prompt. So this is what is written in the slides also. First was role, कि आप चैट जीपीटी को बता रहे हो क्या करना है. आप टास्क दे रहे हो, उसमें आप स्पेसिफिक हो क्या चाहिए आपको. Context and format, you are giving the background information, and what kind of output you want to present. Now we have done this task already with the leadership. Let's not do it. Now come here. Now see, whenever we communicate, like we are communicating, or we communicate with computers, there are different ways, right? Like I am communicating in English, and in between I am using Hindi also. Similarly, when we are interacting with AI tools, there are few ways which we are applying, but we don't know the terms of it. So we would be discussing here some ways or some styles, prompting techniques which are used by us also, but we are not known to it. So Siddhant says, what if we craft a prompt that can be applied to any subject and we only need to change it? Yes, that is called as the reusable prompt, Siddhant. You can use it. So in that also, you have to create a first prompt as the effective prompt, right? And then you can use that effective prompt by changing a part of it. Like that you can do. That is called as the reusable prompt. That is one of the prompting style only. Now let's move on to this prompting ways. Okay, if I wait, let's move on to the first one, zero shot prompting. What is zero shot prompting? Whenever we are giving a prompt and we are not giving any, you can say any example to it. If I write a motivational quote for students, I'm giving no example to it. Right. So that is called as zero shot prompting. मैंने direct prompt दे दिया. But what if I give one example to it? Means provide I'm giving, like, write a motivational quote for students, and I'm giving any one example for the motivational quote. Now that motivational quote could be anything. You can have one quote from the Google, and you can write it on the chat GPT. For example, let's say if I go here, motivational quote for student, 2 line. Okay, so if I have this one quote, I have already with it. Now I want to create, if I first write, create a motivational quote for students. This is one way for creating. Now this is called as zero shot prompting, right? Now if I say create a motivational quote for students, example I have given. similar to example given. Now, when I give the example, it is called as one-shot prompting when I am giving one example. Now, if I give similar instruction to ChatGPT with, now there it was one example. So if I give example 1, then I give example 2, for example, I give this code. Then I give example 3. Here I have this. Now, what it is doing, what we are basically doing when we are doing some task without an example, that is called zero shot prompting. जब हम एक एग्जाम्पल देते हैं उसको हम बोलते हैं वन शॉट प्रॉम्प्टिंग. जब हम एक से ज्यादा एग्जाम्पल्स देते हैं हम उसको बोलते हैं फ्यू शॉट प्रॉम्प्टिंग. Right? So these are the 3 prompting techniques which are highlighted here. When we provide 2-3 examples, that is called as few short prompting. अब क्या करता है चैट जीपीटी, जो हम एग्जाम्पल्स दे रहे हैं उसके सिमिलर आपको रिस्पॉन्सेज देगा. फोर्थ वी हैव इज रोल बेस्ड प्रॉम्प्टिंग. रोल बेस्ड क्या होता है, जब हम एआई को एक रोल दे देते हैं, जो हमने अभी देखा एक्ट एज अ, विच वी सॉ right away in the previous, I have not signed it, when I mentioned that act as a tutor and tell me about leadership. Now act as a tutor is I'm giving a role, so that was a role based prompt, right? Then our fifth is step by step. Now step by step prompting is usually used when we want to see the uh, middle steps. For example, if I am trying to solve some equation of maths, and if I copy paste a maths equation or a maths calculation, I get the final answer that 4 is the answer for this problem. But how that 4 came, I want to know that. In that case, I write in my prompt, give me step by step, give me steps for solving this problem and the final answer. जब आप step by step mention कर देते हो ना prompt में, तो उसको हम बोलते हैं स्टेप बाय स्टेप प्रॉम्प्टिंग. राइट? तो वो कब हम यूज करते हैं, यूजुअली मैथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशंस में यूज करते हैं, या जब हमें कंपैरिजंस करने हैं, या जब हमें एनालाइज करना है इनसाइड कि हमारा आउटपुट कैसे आ रहा है, रीजनिंग करनी है हमें. ठीक है? सो दीज वर द 5 प्रॉम्प्ट्स. नाउ देयर इज अ एक्टिविटी इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. You have to guess the prompt type. Tell me which type of prompting technique is this in the chat fast. Which type of prompting technique is this? Okay, Ruturaj says zero shot. Others? Sakshi says zero shot, zero prompt. Diksha says zero. Soham says zero shot prompt. Right. So this is zero shot prompting because we are giving the instructions directly. What about this? What about this? Second one. We have the prompt. We have example 1, example 2, and we are telling now convert this I need help into in a similar manner. So what is this? Not zero shot. Diksha, I know that. But what is the prompting technique name? Is it zero shot, one shot, few shot, a role based, step by step? Which kind of prompting technique is it? Let me see the chart. Soham says two shot. Okay, few shots, Sakshi says. Tanu says few shot. Yes. So it is few shot prompting. Right? Now the third one, act as a career counselor and suggest 5 skills for MBA student. Which type of technique is this? Which type of technique is this? Stephen's chain of thought is somewhat different. Okay, Stephen says role based. Sakshi says role based. Soham says role based. Tanu says role based. Okay, most of you are saying role based, right? Now, the last one, act as a fitness coach and create a 7-day beginner workout plan step by step. Tell me, which prompting technique is this? Okay, one says role based. Which technique is this? Someone says role based. Others, which technique is this? Fast. Sakshi says role-based prompt. Purnima says role-based. Okay, let's see. It is role-based plus step-by-step. So when we have more than one technique in a single one, that is called as combined prompting. So here we were having two prompts all with each other. Tanu, you are correct. Role-based and step-by-step. Great, everyone. So this we have discussed. I'm not wasting on that. We now let's move on to choosing the right approach. As I said, when we want our task to be done quickly, or when we are just doing brainstorming, our pattern of the output does not matter. We go with zero shot prompting. And when we use the few shot prompting, when our for example, if I am creating a particular document and my four pointers are in a particular format and I want the fifth pointer in the same format, so what I will give ChatGPT that format, that give me the fifth pointer in this format, right? So when I want a controlled tone, I want a specific style, a specific pattern to be followed in my output, we use few shot prompting in that case. When we use step by step, as I already mentioned, when we are uh, working on some decision making, we are learning something, we when we learn something, we don't want the output directly, we want the steps, right? When we want to understand the complex topics, or when we are working on case studies, and that when our middle steps is important, then we use step by step. So, this is the AI tool ecosystem. This we have already discussed. For text and content, we have different tools as ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. For image generation, we have ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud. We have Crayon AI, we have Canva AI, and we have many more. For videos and presentations, we have Gamma, we have Slides Go, we have Synthesia, we have Pictory. Now, choosing the right tool is very important. As I said, that smart users or the people who are in the AI field, they don't rely on one application. They choose one application for one task. For the other task, they use different application and they combine the outputs and get a final result. Now, let's move on to the major thing, which is for today. That is our creating a application without code. So I have skipped two slides for now, this and this. So I will come on to this after you scan the code. Scan this QR code, then I will show what we will be doing. So first tell me, have anyone who have not used Lovable AI? Anyone who have not used Lovable AI? Okay, I'm sharing the link also. Give me a minute. By the time you tell me that, who all are there who have not used Lovable AI or Emergent also? Any of the two tools? Ruturaj says not used any of the two. Others? Okay, I'm sharing the link. So link is with everyone in the chat. Let me also open here. Okay, let me see the chat. Sharanu says not used. Ruturaj says not used. Lakshita says not used. Okay. Okay, tell me, have you created any web application? How much time you took to create a web application? How much time you took to create a web application? Stephen says days. Mohammed says 3 months. Oh my God. Okay. Others. Soham says 10 minutes. Great. Ruthuraj says entire semester. Okay. Himanshi. Okay, Himanshi has answered to the previous question. Okay. So some of you are saying 3 months, some saying semester, and one of you answered 10 minutes. Great to the ones who know how to create it in minutes. Now, we would be creating, as I showed you on the screen, we would be create, for example, you want to create a fitness app for a college students, right? So, if we don't have any help or anything, what we do? We have to think app name ideas, we have to think the slogans, we have to think the launch strategy, we have to think what features we need to include, we have to think the content we use to create, right? Now, or for anything, we would go step by step, right? And then we would integrate all the ideas and then start creating the application. But what if I use again my chat GPT and Lovable for this? Let's say, okay, create a prompt to use in Lovable AI for creating fitness app for students. Keep buttons clickable and attractive content. Okay. So I'm creating a prompt from the chat GPT itself. I'm not writing the prompt on it. Now it is giving me a prompt for Lovable AI itself. Similarly, we have applications like Emergent. That is also a good application. Now see, it has already selected the design slides, profile page, what trackers I can have in my application. If you want, you can change any of it. Now let's copy paste this, go on the Lovable, just paste and press enter. Now see what happens. So it is analyzing all the components which is written here. Now as you can see, it is uh, using the applications. If there is any framework which is needed, it is installing on its own. It is setting up the design system. Means on the left side you can see what steps are going on, and the right side here you will see your preview of your application. Now let it build. So you can see the steps. By the time it is building, let me show something. So see, till it is building, there are some which are already, while I was teaching some other batch, we built there. So let's see by the time it is building. For example, let's have plan your budget trip. That was one. It would only take 5 minutes, or you can say 4 to 5 minutes to think, to install, to edit, to create backend, to create front end, and give you application. So this was the prompt which I gave. And if I go on the preview of the application, this was the application which was created earlier with the same process. So see, plan your budget trip. It is a student travel assistant. If I want to go anywhere like Goa, where are you interested? Beach, budget, I can have, let's say, and I can plan my trip, start planning my trip, plan a 5-day trip with a budget, planning your trip, it is running. So now in this also, like, we have different things like, as I mentioned that earlier there was no output text. So I mentioned it should give the itinerary. So here, once it is built, I will show you that you can edit also the application using the simple text language. As I am giving the instruction. जैसे हमने आप build करने की instruction दी, similarly आप उसको edit करने की भी same instructions दोगे. You don't have to write the code in that case also. So you can see Pulse is live. It has automatically given the name of my app, that is Pulse. Now it is using it back to preview. Now this is my preview. It is creating a preview. Wait for it. Now this is a basic preview. If I want, I can go on this option. Now here, one more important thing, that you can integrate it with cloud. You can get the code. If you click here, you get the code which is written. All the code, right? Let's go on the preview. So open preview in the new page. Let's see what it has built in just 5 minutes. So it is stay fit, stay focused, start workout. So this is the exercises which are given in the workout. So I have home page, workout, tracker, profile. Now daily challenge, water intake, quote of the day. Then if I go on the workout, these are my workouts. This is the tracker. This is my profile. So see, it has built a basic app. Now if I show you the demo, now if I want to change something. So in this, you get some credits on daily basis. And after that, means on daily basis, your credits are loaded and lovable. So for per day, your credits are there. So if I want, make the background, the UI black and red. Okay, so it will do the changes. So my 2.50 credits are only remaining. So it is reviewing it. At the same time, I was showing you this, plan your budget. So see, here my travel assistant has given me a recommendation on my chosen things. What is the accommodations recommended based on the budget? What are the food suggestion? What are the travel trips? And day 1, day 2, day 5 trip is already calculated. And what is my grand total? 2650. So this was one application. Similarly, if I go here, this was the fitness app also. This is a very basic one which we created. Now if I show you one more. So this was the app. Let me preview it. So it's this, see, I gave simple instruction, make the UI black and red. It is changed. Similarly, if I show you, see, this is also created by a simple that start your journey. Then I have, it will go on the create your account. It has membership pricing. It has some stories, that is the comments. These are the trainer profiles. This is a actual, you can say any gym page, right? It is a BMI calculator. Then we have some workouts here, view workouts. So see, and we have tabs at the top, join now. So this is also created. See how good the UI is. We don't have to code. We don't have to do anything. We just have to give the manual prompts. Now, at the same time, the prompt, the good the prompt is, the good the site or the output would be. Right? So this was one of the application, Lovable AI. In a similar way, let me reshare the screen. In a similar way, we have other application like, you can say, wait, let me reshare the screen first. We have the other application like Emergent AI. You can try that also. That also helps us in the website building. So everyone done? Have you created a web page in minutes? If you are done, mention done in the chat. To see how, means how beautiful it is, that you don't need to know coding for designing your web page. If you are trying to build some page, you want to start some your startup, you can go and explore the AI tools and start building things by simple knowing how to write effective prompts. Okay. So I received done. So that was all. We discussed a few things related to tools, Gen AI, and prompt engineering. The last activity for today we have is our inline form. Quickly scan out the form, fill out the form, scan the QR, fill out the form, and once done, mention done in the chat. Scan the inline form. This is knowing how much you have learned or how confident you are after the session, and sort of attendance form also. So fill out the form. Once you are done, mention done in the chat. Waiting for 30 more seconds. Okay, Soham says done. Okay, give me a minute. Someone wants the link for it. Give me 1 minute. I would share the link with you. Okay, so I have shared the link also in the chat. If anyone was having issue in scanning the code, you can go with the link and fill the form. Himanshi done, Rituraj done, great. Okay, so the ones who are still left, complete the form, fill out the form using the link given. So in the today's session, we discussed how computers not only process but generate the data, video, audio, and other things. We discussed about how generative AI works, why prompt engineering is important, and what are the types of prompts, right? And also we discussed that why to use AI responsibly is important. We cannot fully rely on it, right? So that's it for the today's session. If you have any questions, you can ask in the chat. I'm here for the next 1 or 2 minutes for answering your queries. If you have any queries, you can answer in the chat, ask in the chat. Okay, Soham says, ma'am, next class kab hai? It is on 18th, Soham, because you get alternate classes. Thank you, Stephen. Lakshita says, okay, if you want for the baseline, you can, if you have queries, you can keep asking in the chat. Let me share the baseline form also. Some of you are asking baseline link also. Let me share that. And then we will wind up. Wait for a minute. Okay. For the ones who wanted the baseline link also, I've shared. Ankita, amazing. Thank you, Ankita. Himanshi, the next class is on 18th. Okay. So, hope you have enjoyed the session. Let's see you in the next session. Thank you so much. We are winding up for the today.